I guess I have a couple of questions beside the comment. Has the AG's office reviewed the legal issues pertaining to this matter, and are we convinced that this complies with all other strictures of Prop 1A and the other legal elements that we're facing?
Mr. Spanos, is the answer yes?
No.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Then you need to come up to the microphone.
Well, you know, if we can't defend this, then we had better figure out what we're doing here.
Here, here.
Mr. Diridon, we're your legal counsel. We provide advice when it's requested. The client hopefully is guided by that advice. We, however, this is not our work product. This is the work product of your staff and your consultants. So I cannot give an affirmative answer as it was posed.
Okay. George, we need to know if this is not a starter segment. This is just the beginning of construction. If this beginning of construction complies with Prop 1A.
Well, you're asking a larger question than the number of words it took to put it into form. But let me put it this way. There are a couple of things I do want to comment on. For instance, the term usable segment is used in the document. Commissioner Crane mentioned it because I think it's on Appendix B, the beginning of the scoring. Our view is that this is not this north of Bakersfield to north of Fresno, formerly known as north of Corcoran to Borden, I guess, is not, in our view, a usable segment within the meaning of Proposition 1A. So we don't view this process today as involving a decision as to what the usable segment is going to be. However, as I pointed out last month in response to a question posed by Judge Kopp, and I think this followed a comment by Locke Holmes, who also spoke today and raised this issue, when you go to the legislature, or actually before you go to the legislature to request the initial appropriation for a particular usable segment, you will have to define that usable segment. That will be part of your funding plan pursuant to Section 2704.08, Subdivision C of the Streets and Highways Code. And the way we understand the staff recommendation, that section will be a subset of whatever that usable segment turns out to be. All right,
Therefore, what we're doing is legal?
I was not involved, Commissioner Diridon. I cannot answer that question without having researched it all. We were not involved in the development of the staff proposal. To a limited extent, Ms. Aitchison reviewed some references that had some environmental implications to make sure that the terminology used was correct. But I cannot honestly tell you that we were involved in the creation of the staff report, so I cannot otherwise answer your question.
Well, that begs another question, and for discussion perhaps at another meeting, is that whatever we do needs legal review. And so I know Ms. Pervahidi will take that aboard, that whatever action the board takes is recommended by staff needs to be reviewed to make sure that it conforms with local, state, federal law.
And you've been saying that too.
Okay.
I can tell you this, Mr. Chairman. I'm not aware of any obstacle to this in terms of legality. But again, I'm not in a position to be able to honestly tell you that I've looked at the entire thing and have compared it to all of the federal and state laws that apply.
Okay. Let me stress then in the motion which I'm going to offer, I'm using the word starter construction project and not anything else. So you can use those words then into building a first usable segment as you would like to with the help of the staff when we communicate with the legislature. So